Hello everyone, this is ONNIE. Good morning, or shall I say, good afternoon or good evening to some of you who are out there in other parts of the world. Welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. For those who are new to my channel, this channel talks about Korean culture, Korean way of life, places to visit in the countryside, and I am a married immigrant, so my channel also talks about the way of life of married immigrants here in the countryside of Korea. Korean dramas, K-pop artists, Korean songs are getting popularities these days. A lot of young girls are fans of Korean actors and singers and are wondering how it would feel like dating a Korean guy. So today, let's talk about it, knowing this might help you to have an enjoyable date with a Korean man in the future, just in case you come to Korea someday or if you meet a Korean guy outside Korea. But before I start, let me make a disclaimer that Korean men are not all the same. They have different personalities and comes from different backgrounds and have different exposure in the society that we live in. And I believe this may also apply to every man in the world. And I suggest that when the time comes, you will be the judge in every situation while you have your dates, for you are the only one who knows best in that given situations. Just use your instincts and guts and have fun and enjoy. In some other countries, it is common for a guy to ask the woman if he wants to date her. In fact, men are the ones who make the first move to get the attention of women. But here in Korea, it is a little bit different. Usually, if you're a foreigner here in Korea, it is most probably you won't be asked for a date from young men out here. Not because they don't like foreigners, because men are quite shy or have some reservations in approaching strangers for a date. So don't feel bad or offended if they don't ask you for a date. It doesn't mean they aren't interested in you. So if you want to have a date with Korean men and you can't wait for them to ask you, why not introduce yourself and ask them for a date? They would welcome the idea. In Korean society, it is not bad for a woman to make the first move. So don't feel shy. Make the first move and say hi or hello. Don't you know that Korean internet is one of the fastest in the world? And the handyphone business and technology here is one of the best in the world. So it is no surprise if younger Korean men and women are lovers of texting or sending messages to each other. So if you have a relationship with a Korean man, it won't be a surprise. You will have a constant communication through texting, even phone calls, and other means of communication apps, just to make sure you are both updated with each other. Updating each other as often as possible is a normal norm here between boyfriends and girlfriends. There is no fear that you will overdo it. If you think it is too clingy, here it is not. So express those romantic expressions that you want to say. Who knows, your other significant would love to read or hear it. After getting home from a date, don't forget to send a message and tell him, "I did enjoy the date," if you really did. I'm sure the guy will love to read that message and will surely ask you the next time. This is one way of making the ball rolling in the future relationship with a Korean guy. Showing affection or kissing in public is a little offbeat in here. Koreans are not quite open to show their affection or kiss in public, which is the opposite in what you see in Korean movies. They keep the relationship privately, and I must say, they won't talk about it in public. In my 22 years here in Korea, only a few times can I see Koreans showing their love for each other in public. Seldom you can see couples making out in public. By the way, blind dates is common here in Korea. In fact, it is considered one of the safest means for a person to meet her or his future partner in life. Actually, it is common practice in here that parents would set their sons or daughters up for a blind date for the purpose that it would lead to a future marriage. Nowadays, the younger Koreans, especially students in the universities, would meet in groups and hang out. Quite a change from the old practice. But wait, one interesting question is, who pays in a date? When you are asked for a date, I think you will be pleased and start planning what dress to wear just to impress your date, and where to have that date would always comes to mind. Actually, there is this unspoken rule here in Korea that Korean men should pay for the first date and maybe on the next of the following dates. In the first date, the guy will shoulder the whole expenses, but there are some instances the guy will pay for the first round and the woman will pay for the next, and so on. As the interest for each other progresses and you become boyfriend and girlfriend, the payments must be even between the two of you. But time changes. The younger generations, especially in their early 20s, would split the bills in the restaurant, or if the guy pays the food in the restaurant, the woman will handle the bills in the coffee shops or movies. So guys, what do you think of our topic for today? I would love to hear of your opinions. If you have something to share, please write it down in the comment section below. I would love to read them. I would love to make more contents about the Korean way of life after I get out from the hospital. If you could hear some noise, it is because I am with other patients in the room. And I only make this voiceover when they are in the lobby or if some are sleeping. So I have to adjust my voice so I can't disturb them. Until then, my friends, hoping that this has given you interesting information. Please enjoy the view of the countryside. And for those who have not subscribed to my channel, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe, and please hit that notification bell so that you will be notified of my next videos. Surely there are still lots of things to be talked about here in Korea. If you have some topics you would like me to talk about, just let me know. Bye everyone! I will see you when I get out of the hospital. This is ONNIE saying goodbye and wishing you a blissful day ahead. Stay safe everyone! 안녕!